This is day 16 of 30-day articulation practice challenge, and for today I will be retelling the story named There's No Such Thing as a Dragon. One morning, Billy Bixby woke up next to a small dragon on his bed. Initially surprised but mesmerized by the dragon's details, he patted dragon's head, and the dragon wiggled its tail. And then Billy got up and brushed his teeth and went downstairs. While he was going to the kitchen, he saw his mom and he told his mom about the dragon, saying that he saw a dragon on his bed. To which mom replied, saying that there's no such thing as a dragon, and she invited him to sit at the table and have breakfast. So Billy sat at the table and the dragon followed him, and the dragon sat on the table. That morning, Mrs. Bixby was making pancakes, and as she was making them, she was putting them on the table. And the dragon was a little too quick compared to Billy, and he was eating up all of the pancakes. So much so that Billy had to ask his mom to make more pancakes, saying that dragon is eating them all. And the mother said, there's no such thing as a dragon, a little more firmly this time. But she kept on making pancakes until she ran out of the batter. And the dragon kept eating them all, but one. Billy was quick enough to snatch one of the pancakes, and that's what he wanted after all. After breakfast, Billy went to his room to do his own chores, while Dragon stayed in the living room, growing in size. Now, from the kitty size, it grew up to a large dog size. While Billy was in his room, his father got ready, had his breakfast, and left for work. And that morning was a quite busy morning for Mrs. Bixby, because she had to clean the whole house. And with Dragon on her way, it made it way more difficult. So much so that she had to climb on top of the dragon, walk around the dragon, and get out from one window and get back in through another window. And it took her whole morning to clean the whole house. And by the noon rolled around, the dragon was just resting. But by this time, it grew almost to a full size of a living room. And he was napping. He woke up from his nap around noon, and he was craving something to eat. And at this time, bakery truck was passing by the house, and the smell of fresh baked goods was something more than the dragon could resist. And the dragon started chasing after the bakery truck, and the house went along with the dragon, because by this time the house was almost as the shell of the dragon. And while the dragon was running after the bakery truck, the mailman was bringing the mail for Bixby family. And seeing that the house was running away, mailman started chasing after the house. But unfortunately, he wasn't fast enough. And the neighbor was watching all from his side. Unsurprisingly, Mr. Bixby was coming home for lunch that day. And as he was arriving to his home, he noticed that the house was gone. And he was flabbergasted for a second. To which the neighbor who saw it all pointed the direction where the house ran away. Surprised, Mr. Bixby just followed the direction of the neighbor that he gave in. After 10 blocks, he saw a similar house of theirs. And on the second floor, he saw Mrs. Bixby and Billy. As he was approaching the house, he started walking, and as he got into the house, asking what happened, Billy exclaimed, saying that it was all the dragon. To which Mom exclaimed, there's no such thing as a dragon. But by this point, even the father, who had recognized the dragon, was telling the mother, Mrs. Bixby, that there was actually a dragon. After a little back and forth, Finally, Mrs. Bixby came to the realization that there was a dragon. As soon as she realized that there was a dragon, the dragon started shrinking. It shrank even faster than it grew, and in the matter of seconds, it became the size of a little kitty cat again. To which Mrs. Bixby exclaimed, "Oh, I wouldn't mind dragging this size." And then they all went home. While they were walking towards their home, they were contemplating why the dragon kept growing so large. To which Billy said, maybe he just wanted to be noticed.